So all I can speak about is what I know, and I can speak about ESPN and Disney, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware.
A Hall of Fame giant vanished from ESPN almost overnight, leaving viewers stunned and rivals quietly celebrating. One morning, Shannon Sharpe sat under studio lights trading NFL banter. By sundown, his chair sat empty, while a $50 million lawsuit rolled into a Nevada courthouse. Was this karmic justice or the opening gambit of a ruthless power play? The answer depends on your view when private texts, whispered tapes, and Disney's billion-dollar image crashed together. The paperwork landed first.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Filed by 20-year-old OnlyFans creator Gabriella Zuniga, the complaint read like a thriller script no editor had toned down. She accused Sharpe of sexual assault, battery, and coercion across 2 encounters, one in October, another in January, and said he dangled hush money to keep her silent. The dollar sign at the top, $50 million, rocketed the story onto every sports feed within hours. Fans who grew up watching Sharpe's stiff-arm linebackers now scrolled headline after headline describing him as a predator, not a gridiron hero. For legal watchers, the bigger jolt was the attorney on the front page. Tony Busby, the same courtroom brawler who squeezed settlements from a star quarterback, now aimed his spotlight at another rich athlete. That made the stakes feel instantly real and the fallout almost inevitable. Court documents, however sensational, were only a prelude. By nightfall, screenshots littered X and TikTok, stamped with neon circles and breathless captions. They showed Zuniga invoicing Sharpe 25 grand per visit and joking about special play that would cost extra. Hours later, an audio clip leaked. A voice sounding unmistakably like Sharpe purred that he might choke her in public, as though danger itself provided a thrill. View counts soared into the millions before fact-checkers caught their breath. Even die-hard Broncos loyalists admitted a line had been crossed. The darker twist, race play kink, ignited an entirely different firestorm. Social feeds filled with disgust at a black icon allegedly paying a white teenager to degrade him with antebellum language. Whatever 2 consenting adults do in private rarely remains private when it involves celebrity, money, and a phone mic. Disney executives detected that radioactive signal fast. ESPN may scream sports, but the network answers to an empire built on princess movies and squeaky clean mascots. Early on April 24th, Sharpe tweeted a carefully lawyered statement. He was temporarily stepping away so First Take could focus on sports. Insiders soon leaked that the decision was nowhere near voluntary.
Shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black.
Corporate risk teams watched the choke clip and calculated how many advertisers would flee if it aired beside Mickey's silhouette. They yanked the cord labeled damage control, and Sharpe's badge failed at the security gate by noon. If the present looked ugly, the past soon looked worse. Michelle Bundy Evans, an ex-girlfriend who once said Sharpe stalked and threatened her in 2010, quietly refiled an older complaint the day after Zuniga's suit. The timing painted a pattern prosecutors adore. One accuser can be spun as opportunistic, 2 suggest a chain. Sports radio callers asked how many red flags were ignored, while producers drooled over Sharpe's viral one-liners. Front office sports piled on with an unsealed HR memo claiming Sharpe once grabbed a Fox colleague's throat during a commercial break but settled internally. None of these claims had reached a jury, yet the sheer accumulation felt grim. While lawyers sharpened knives, studio rivals polished monologues. Stephen A. Smith opened his show with a solemn "My brother's in pain" speech. Then, according to staffers, cracked jokes about Sharpe's rookie mistake once cameras cut.
Shannon Sharpe is somebody I work with a couple of days a week. Shannon Sharpe is somebody that I brought to ESPN. Works on First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. He's been with me every Monday and Tuesday. We've been number one for 13 years and counting. But since Shannon has arrived, obviously he's helped the show immensely. And I can't thank him enough for it. We've grown close as friends. I'd like to believe that. I certainly root for him. I know he's been through a lot in life. He's overcome a lot of things. And when he departed from Fox, I was more than happy to bring him on board here. So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports. And I can speak about ESPN and Disney. To be clear, even though this podcast, this YouTube show is owned and operated by me solely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be dismissive of ESPN, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware that this is a subject that I was going to broach, because I owe them that courtesy. I don't know where this is going to go. I can't speak to anything else. I don't know who Shannon Sharpe's legal team is and what they're suggesting. I imagine that everything that has transpired has been at the behest of his lawyers, not just himself. I can tell you again that when I spoke to him, he is emphatic in stating his innocence, that this is a shakedown, to use his words. How wise is it to use those kind of words when a civil matter of this nature is out there? When you have a podcast and you have advertisers and sponsors and you work for ESPN and they have advertising sponsors, I don't know. What can we say if any of us were in that position and we felt or were proclaiming we were innocent? I don't know. And I'm not about to pretend. I just wanted to make sure that I echo to all of you that the only reason I spoke on this issue is because he works with me 2 days a week. He's on national television. He was on national television with me today. He was on national television with me yesterday when the story came out Sunday night. I didn't know anything about it until we got on the air. But he was on air. And if you know him in part because of all the work that he's doing with me and what he's doing in this industry, I know everybody's been waiting, like, Stephen A., what you got to say about this? I got to say what I just told you. I don't know what's happened. I know I got love for the brother. I know that I'm wishing that he's innocent and all of this stuff goes away and he can continue to thrive with me on ESPN and thrive in his own platforms that he worked so diligently over the years to build. But anything else would be entirely irresponsible for me to speak on. And I can't do that. Yes, I own this. This is my platform. But I also have a day job, and I also understand what lawyers, what HR, and all of those other things entail. What I said is all I can say. And in all honesty, at this moment, it is all I know. I have no idea what direction ESPN and Walt Disney will go in when it comes to this matter. All I do know is it won't be me making a decision. It'll be others upstairs. In the end, all of us have someone to answer to. No matter how maverick we try to be, and we own our own business, and we're our sole proprietors like I am on this platform and stuff like that. There are advertisers, there are sponsors, there are people you do business with, there are partners, and there are bosses. That's the situation, unfortunately, that Shannon Sharpe finds himself in at this particular moment in time. I sincerely wish him the best. I got love for him.
Clips of Cat Williams and Monique resurfaced, both warning Sharpe last year that chasing teenagers could torpedo a legacy. Viewers binged those prophetic moments and decided Sharpe had ignored every elder in his contact list. Memes multiplied, a cartoon Shannon sprinting after a $sign while Disney's castle lowered an iron gate behind him. Social pressure shoved Sharpe into counterattack mode. He fired off an Instagram reel calling the suit a shakedown, framing Busby as a celebrity slayer who targets wealthy black men. He compared himself to Jay-Z fighting off extortion, yet the next swipe on most phones replayed the choking line, erasing any chance of martyr status. Comment sections roasted him for invoking racial solidarity while allegedly fetishizing racial humiliation in private. The contradiction proved impossible to meme away, though users certainly tried. Money, the loudest voice in professional sports, now delivered its verdict. Zuniga's text detailed a pay-per-visit arrangement that could have bought her a downtown condo each month. Network sources whispered that Sharpe offered mid-seven-figure hush payments long before lawyers filed anything, suggesting he sensed disaster brewing but believed his wallet could keep the lid on. Disney's accountants ran different math. How many sponsors would bolt if they kept him? They chose the cheaper path. Cut him loose and brace for backlash. Commentary slid from gossip to morality play. Pundits skewered the 56-year-old for preaching grandma's wisdom on Club Shay Shay while sliding into a model's DMs who couldn't buy a drink last year. They questioned why a millionaire with 3 Super Bowl rings still hunts validation from someone young enough to call him sir. Others zoomed out, seeing Sharpe as another exhibit in a modern museum of powerful men undone by digital receipts. 10 years ago, whispers could stay whispers. Now every chat, snap, and geotag lives forever in the cloud. Sharpe's next gambit landed with a thud. Threatening a defamation suit, he warned Busby might release a 30-second clip designed to feed every negative stereotype about black men. Instead of sympathy, he sparked another tidal wave of jokes. You can't cry racism while paying extra for racism. One viral reply read, "Bro, you wrote the stereotype yourself." Under every punchline lurked a fair question. How much blame falls on a consenting adult exploring taboo fantasies? And how much on a millionaire ignoring the power imbalance he helped create? Legal calendars stretch ominously. Civil discovery could run well into preseason, making Sharpe's stated goal of returning by August sound fanciful. Worse, Nevada law allows civil victims to convert revenge porn evidence into criminal referrals. That leaves felony charges hovering like storm clouds. Even if Sharpe prevails, he may discover courtroom victory cannot buy back brand deals or public goodwill. Sponsors who flee rarely boomerang. Meanwhile, the rumor mill keeps spinning. Busby hints at encrypted data he won't reveal until the time is right, sparking talk of footage worse than anything public. Sharpe's attorney claims to possess proof of extortion, yet shows none. Stephen A. continues milking the saga for teachable moments, speaking in parables about hubris while sidestepping his colleague's name. Viewers binge every twist because the story hits deeper nerves. Sex, power, race, money, and the blurry line where consent morphs into coercion. Yet buried beneath the scandal lies a human tragedy that stat sheets cannot capture. Sharpe emerged from rural Georgia poverty with little beyond speed, grit, and his grandmother's sayings. He turned those gifts into 3 championship rings and an analyst job that paid more per month than his hometown earned in a year. Millions applauded when he challenged Tom Brady on air or flexed a victory cigar after Denver wins. That arc, hardship to hero, fueled genuine inspiration. Today, the same arc sharpens the sense of waste. How does someone who climbed so high risk it all for a thrill only a phone tap away from headlines? The question rattles young athletes reading direct messages from strangers offering anything for access and older veterans who thought they were untouchable in retirement. Fans also confront their complicity. Sports culture adored Sharpe's swagger, his tales of single single malt nights and big uncte wisdom about women sliding into the DMS. Podcast asked him about polyamory. Viral clips celebrated his bachelor life, and nobody demanded nuance. That applause built a stage where the line between harmless brag and harmful behavior blurred. Now that the bill has come due, some supporters dump him instantly, while others deny every allegation as jealousy. Both camps dodge the harder reflection. Why do audiences reward the same risky behavior they later condemn? ESPN's swift exile of Sharpe exposes another truth. Corporations talk about redemption arcs, but practice brand protection. Few remember that in 2017, the network suspended anchor Jamila Hill for a political tweet, yet welcomed her back after apology. Sharpe's scenario differs. Leaked audio threatening violence hits an advertiser's nerve faster than any tweet. Disney's decision shows where the tolerance boundary lies, somewhere well before "I might choke you in public." The saga may also shape future athlete influencer deals. Sharpe wasn't just an analyst, he was a content factory, posting nightly lives and selling supplement partnerships. When those revenue streams rely on personal charisma, the entire brand rides on private judgment. Sponsors now study his downfall like a case study titled "Due Diligence in the Age of Screenshots." Younger players will hear locker room whispers. If they can take down Unk, they can take down anyone. Agents may insist on social media audits, and crisis PR firms will add new slides. Text at your own risk. So where does all this leave the tight end who once silenced stadiums with impossible catches? He stands in a desert of lawsuits, holding receipts that may wound him more than heal. Disney's castle door has slammed shut, and rival broadcasters hesitate to loan airtime to a man whose private fantasies trend worldwide. The next big reveal could arrive from a judge's docket, a leaked clip, or a hush-hush settlement the public never sees. Each outcome offers its own sentence. In the end, viewers must decide whether Shannon Sharpe is a casualty of opportunistic targeting or the architect of his own downfall. Was he singled out because he is a wealthy black celebrity, or did he sprint toward disaster, ignoring every warning sign? Courts will weigh evidence. Fans will weigh instinct. Whichever verdict emerges, one truth already stands tall. In an era of screenshot justice, legends can crumble faster than a tweet loads, and sometimes the harshest chokehold isn't physical at all. It's the grip of a story that refuses to let go long after the final whistle. You've heard the timeline, the claims, and the counterclaims. So what's your call? Calculated takedown or self-inflicted collapse? Comment below, and if you want the latest twist before they explode, tap subscribe now. The next leak could drop any minute.